Well, I guess my first sort of memories have always just been around chocolate. So my mum's French and my dad's English, and so we'd always go to Paris. We'd always visit all the patisseries and the bakeries and, you know, wander around the streets, and I always felt so alive when we went there, even as a young kid, because there wasn't really anything like that here in London. The time when I started to really want to train as a pastry chef, I was probably like 16, so I did like a sort of little internship in a chocolate shop in Connaught Street called Coco Maya. I always felt like the pastries and the cakes weren't really quite as special as in Paris. And when I was finishing my degree, I decided to go back to Paris and really like enroll in a pastry school and do like an apprenticeship. We always think of these experiences, oh, you're going to go to Paris and it's going to be this dream and it's going to be, you know, everyone's going to, it's cakes, right? It's incredible patisserie and all these amazing things, and I've been dreaming about it my whole life, and then I get there and it's actually just like, you know, people, like anxiety, stress, shouting, everything going, just. And I was like, oh, is this really, really what I want? Like, is this worth it?
Thank you. Have a nice day.
I guess that like actually sometimes like really hard experiences can like fuel you to be like, you know what, I can do this my way. I always find that when something like really bad happens, it just makes me so like frustrated that I think, you know what, I've got to like, you know, make this right, rather than sort of getting really too down about things. So I guess that what I was sort of like, okay, that's great, I'm not working in another kitchen. So I came back to London sort of thinking, oh, maybe I'll have like a chocolate patisserie kind of company. So I started to like make a range of like chocolatey inspired things, like chocolate eclairs, chocolate cakes, anything chocolate, and sort of I brought them to a few little cafes to see if maybe they'd be interested in buying them. And then straight away, like the first place I asked, they were like, oh, do you want to be a pastry chef here? And I was like, no, I'm not. I want to try and like make my own stuff and see if anyone's actually interested. And then one day, my sister and her husband just were like, your choux pastries are just so incredible. Why don't you start doing something that's just choux? I started to just develop a few pastries, and then I hired like a commercial kitchen. Luckily, I managed to get a spot at Old Spitalfields Market, and I managed to like lure my little sister to like help me sell. That first day we kind of sold out, everyone loved our stuff, and then I was like, great, I've got enough money to buy ingredients for next week and the kitchen time for next week, and then it just kind of rolled like that. You know, when I'd been working in kitchens for so long and I'd been treated to in a way that I found normal, and all of a sudden everyone's just so excited and happy and nice, and you kind of had this, you know, thing that you could just say, yeah, I've done this, and for the first time I felt really like, yeah, seen, I guess. So I was doing market stalls for a long time, but the thing is, then I started to do supply wholesale to Fortnum & Mason, Selfridges, and a few other like, you know, luxury retailers in the city. COVID happened and I lost all of the wholesale business, obviously. All the shops that we were supplying to closed, and I was left to doing just delivery only. I had a kitchen before this one which was in the basement of a pizza shop, so I hired the whole basement, whereas before I'd just been working like as a shared space. When I was going into the basement kitchen, I would see like people walking up and down like my kitchen, and I was like, oh, excuse me, are you lost? And they'd be like, oh, I'm just looking for Le Choux. And I'd be like, oh, well, Le Choux, we're not actually a shop, we just have like a basement kitchen. And I was having to like do all this explaining, and they were like, oh, okay, no worries, we'll like order online then. And I realized that people really wanted somewhere where they could pick our stuff up, like see what we'd made, because at the end of the day we spend so long creating all these beautiful things that people want to see and like try, but like there's nowhere to actually, you know, buy them. So I started to like look for alternative spaces, try to find somewhere that maybe was like a kitchen, but like we could still sell. This office popped up, and it was like, how can I build a kitchen in an office. I said, yeah, I'm taking on this space, we'll figure it out. We transformed this whole place, managed to get water in, turn it into a kitchen. Even though at the beginning I wasn't actually planning to sort of open up as a shop, because it's not really a shop, and where it is isn't like on a normal kind of high street or anything. It's like this beautiful space that's somewhere like that's so unconventional. Like it's a really random little part of Ladbroke Grove. We're nowhere near like all the other shops. For like about a month, I kept delaying it. I was like, oh no, but we need to have this, and the walls need to be maybe this color, and I need to get more branding done, and like we need a whole new photo shoot. Everything needs to happen. I would just start everything over again. And maybe Choux isn't enough. We need to do more stuff. That's not enough. People are going to want more, and all the anxiety that you go through. And then one day it was actually really, really funny. So we were just there, and there was this man. It was like raining day, like really raining. And there was this man, this French man that like peeked his head in, and it was like with this child like crying in his arms, and he goes, are you open? We were like, oh, I'm so sorry, we're not actually like open, we're like a pre-order thing. And he goes, oh, and then the little kid was like crying, and I was like, but we're opening next week. And then that was just like my date when I was like, okay, we're gonna open this space up. The thing that's so nice about this Choux is that you kind of try all the different flavors. So you get like a box, and it's not like you're going to eat one cake and then it's like, that's a bit boring. What's really fun about the Choux is that we have like 8-9 different flavors, and you have a box, and like you have that moment of sitting down, like opening up a box, going like a box of chocolates, really. Making of the patisseries, of the Choux, of the cakes and everything, I've managed to delegate those to an incredible couple of pastry chefs. I've created such great relationships with a lot of customers who meet me, and I think that when you actually start out a business, a lot of people, really want to be part of that experience, so it's actually worked out really well. People are really excited about this. I love that our customers love what we do, and I think that all of that together makes me want to just do better and do more. And I guess that like when you're a business owner, you're giving away a big part of yourself. You're giving away all your ideas, all your creation, and you're kind of like opening them up for the public to be like, hey, judge me, hey, try this, like, do you like it? Like, what if I get a bad review on Google? What if somebody actually doesn't like that? What if they're not happy with the fact that we don't have X, Y, Z, and you always, but sometimes it's just, you've just got to be like, I've done the best I can. This is the best I can do for now. We'll get better in time. We can't always wait for it all to be perfect.